In today's world, work stress, depression, and low emotional intelligence are challenges affecting many employees across various industries. The constant demands of the workplace can take a toll on our mental and emotional well being, leading to burnout and a decline in mental health. However, there's a ray of hope for healing and recovery. In this podcast, we will explore the secrets of a natural healing technique and how it can help in harmonizing energy flows within the body, paving the way for a more balanced life, inner peace, and emotional resilience. My guest today is Jocelyn Chidiak, an entrepreneur, a certified instructor, and a therapist. She embarked on her journey in the year 2000 and later acquired knowledge and began applying this unique healing technique in 2002. Tell us more about what is really Jin Shin Jitsu? Where does it come from? And how does it help people like me in our day-to-day lives?
Well, Jinshin Jitsu is an ancient art that was lost for thousands of years, and it was rediscovered in Japan by Jiro Murai at the beginning of the 20th century. It consists of a philosophical and a practical level. On the one hand, it's an art of living that helps us to understand and to know ourselves, and it brings lifestyles into harmony with the laws of the universe. That's the philosophical part. The practical part, it presents a system of energy flow patterns and energy points in the body, front and back.
Tell me more about these energy points. We're looking now at the visual. What
Yeah,
are these
the energy points are in Jinshin Jitsu. There are 26 points in the front of the body and the back of the body, left and right. These energy points, they are formed for practical use on ourselves and on others to alleviate pain and discomfort.
Who are the type of, say, clients or people that would consider such a healing modality?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone. I have clients, young people, male, female, mothers, business people, celebrities. Celebrities, actually, one of them once told me that specifically they need more healing and more support than the regular people, if you call regular. Because they're under pressure, they have to be inside their home and outside, they have to be smiling, they have to be...
I can understand. They're constantly under pressure, cameras, media.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I worked with families also, like the mother, the father, the children. As you know, we all have children and we all know siblings, jealousy, siblings issues, sickness sometimes. In general, when I work with the family, it's like usually, let's say the father starts, then he brings the wife, then they bring the children. Or the mother starts and then she brings her husband and she brings her children. So it's a combination of everything.
But in terms of families, did you ever have a session where the whole family comes together, or they come on separate sessions?
Sometimes when they are like really young children, let's say 2 years old, 3 years old, the mother comes in for a few minutes before with them, and then she leaves the room with an excuse that she has to make a phone call so they can get used to stay in the room with me alone, because sometimes it's... usually kids who have problems, they lack confidence, they lack several issues. So to make them feel safe, the mother comes in for a few minutes and then she leaves the room. And when she leaves the room, then the children open up and start talking about the problems they're facing.
And in terms of that age bracket, can I have an example? What sort of issues were addressed or concerns?
They would beat each other a lot. They scream at each other. They take their tablets from each other. They break things for each other. It's like just being siblings annoying.
Okay.
And they use the word, I hate him and I hate her. And they can't sit next to each other. They fight in the car, they fight at home, they fight wherever they go. At the same time, usually when they have these problems at home, they have some issues at school. which means, let's say, lack of confidence, the children are bullied or they are bullying. Sometimes when they are at home, they don't have to be bullied at home. If they are ignored at home, if they're not feeling they are appreciated and loved, no matter what the parents are offering, it's how the children are seeing it and how feeling it. It's not the parents are really ignoring them. It's just how they are perceiving it because of many elements, that brings them to that event or to that state.
But then children with that age bracket, first, was the discipline very difficult? And second, I'm sure there were cases whereby you were asked not to reveal this information to the parents. So how did you respect that sort of
Well, I do
privacy?
respect it. I do not tell the parents unless it is very, very important for them to change things and to handle things. Yes, obviously, trust is very important between me and my clients, whether they are children or they are adults. It doesn't matter what age they are. I keep the secrecy with them. Sometimes I convince them that I'm going to tell mommy this or I'm going to tell daddy this because then they will help you with this and that. So sometimes I convince them to say things and then we say it together, like I call in the parents and then we talk about it together. But if it is something very, very, very serious, and this is now we move to a teenage part, not really the little ones, a teenager, if they are really in depression and they have suicidal thoughts and so on, yes, I don't call it I'm breaching the trust, but I have to tell the parents because that's a huge responsibility on my side, and I have to warn them and ask them to be present and to do certain things with the teenager. So yes, in certain areas, I do have to tell the parents to do something. I have many cases. I wouldn't say immediately what to do, but I would say stay with them. Don't leave them this coming few days. Don't leave them alone in the sense.
From the first session, you would quickly conclude how long this might take, or how do you quickly jump to a conclusion that I need to see that person twice per day or per week?
Yes and no to the question. Yes, from the first session, I can tell if the person needs a lot of sessions or only few. But exactly how many, I can never tell because each person has reached to the level where they are after like so long, like they have been in a state of mind and emotions, or if we talk about physical, for so long to get to the state where they are when they get to my door. In general, I do not tell them how many sessions because I really do not know. Sometimes a person can, after 2-3 sessions, they wake up one night and things have shifted for them because something changed for them and they feel like so relieved, feel hope, then they want to do things and things change faster for them. So depending on each individual, case by case, that I say how many sessions they need or how long they need.
In business world today, the levels of management in terms of CEOs, directors, and other heads of departments, there's always the feeling of, I think, the exhaustion, the discomfort, stress level. Again, we understand because of the type of work environment, the pressure. And this eventually leads to sometimes depression, negativity. If we would consider this sort of healing technique, is this healing technique enough, or it's really about the willingness and the ability to adapt and change?
The healing modality is very powerful, very effective. There are so many elements that I need to consider or I need to help them through to get out of the state where they are. The healing modality that we are using, Jinshin Jyutsu, opens the channels, the blockages that are created in the body. You'll ask me how they are created now. Two questions in one. So how we create those blockages in the body? We create them on a subconscious level. Nobody wants to create problems for themselves, but on a subconscious level, from upbringing, from our lifestyle, from certain attitudes like anger, sadness, worry, fear, efforting. In general, business people they are efforting a lot. Means they are trying always hard, trying to be good, trying to be nice, trying to be smart, trying to be successful, always trying, and trying to please everyone and their superior in general. So being in those attitudes, we create those blockages in our system. By me putting my hands or my fingertips on the points in the body, the blockages that are created by the attitudes and the lifestyle and so on, they start melting, they start opening. So people start feeling the energy moving, the blockages are moving. Doing few sessions, it opens all these channels and the person start like, they have a breath. They have when I say breath, it's like the breath, the big breath of life, not like breathing. So, which means the blockages are clearing and then they feel hope. They feel that things are going to be better and they feel calmer and they feel like something has changed. They're not angry anymore. They are not sad anymore. It's simply by me putting my hands on these energy points that the energy shifts. That's it. It doesn't take anything.
Sorry, as you put your hands through these energy points, do you also communicate?
Sometimes I communicate, sometimes I don't. It depends on the case. Sometimes they cannot really talk because they're so tired, they just sleep. When the energy starts moving, they just sleep they can't even fight it, they just want to sleep. Especially people, when I worked with many people, they come for insomnia. Actually, I can just show you now what you can do if you have insomnia. So it's like simple things to work on yourself. So you hold your thumb by holding your thumb for a few minutes while laying down in bed. Just holding the thumb like this. Okay. And then a few minutes like this, and then you hold the little finger. No pressure, you just hold them like this. If you're still awake, you do the other hand. But you could be already gone. You're sleeping already.
Like a number of minutes I have to think about?
Yeah, like few minutes, 5 minutes plus.
Okay.
And then if you're still awake really and your mind is really, really busy, then you start with the second hand. By the time you reach the fourth finger, you're gone. You're definitely sleeping already. So this is a simple technique that I give people to do at home, but when they are at the table, I do the flow myself. We call them flows, the clearing the energies or balancing or harmonizing the energy. So there are few steps that I make to help the person feel relieved and feel comfortable and relaxed, so they can sleep when they go home.
Since you had the experience over a number of years, I'm sure you've faced all types of concerns. What is the most common concern by, let's say, senior management, CEOs who come to you?
I can immediately say stress, because that's the first thing that people come to me on that caliber is really stress, insomnia, family issues. When you have a problem at home, you do have a problem at work. Because if you're not feeling comfortable at home, you're gonna bring that problem to the office. No matter how strong you are, no matter how focused you are, the family issues really affect the business. It affects the mental state of the person. So if they're not happy at home, they're gonna reflect this on their day to day at the office. Let's say, if I want to summarize it from that sense, it's a bit of relationship issue, but it doesn't mean relationship male female. It can be relationship with your colleague, with your boss, with anyone. So even with that, with Jin Shinjutsu, we do specific flows for handling relationship, and they all go back to the We all go back to the root cause of childhood. How you were dealing with your mom, how you were dealing with your dad, how vice versa, how mom and dad were looking after you, or if mom and dad were present or not present, whether not present because of leaving or not present because they died as, as a child. There are many reasons for the person to be in the state where they are. So we talk a little bit about the situation they're in, but majority of the session is clearing the energy through Jinshin Jitsu by putting my hands on the points on the body.
And that, let's say, coaching talk, it's usually after the session?
During.
So
during.
as
Sometimes before, sometimes after. There is no session like the other. Not a single one would be similar to the other, with the same person or with other. It's always different, because I follow, from the moment the person comes in through the door, I can tell where they are, like where they are at what state. So I work accordingly.
Using this healing modality, I've attended a few sessions with you, and when do I decide that I have recovered, let's say? When do is it a habit that I started to follow, or I would wait for your instructions to know that I'm recovered?
Some people from the first session, they start changing. Like they go home and they start doing things that they didn't do before, or they are calmer, or the kids are shouting and screaming and they're okay with that.
From the first session?
From the first session. I like to work with 5 sessions in a row, because in general, when people come to me, they have already been suffering or having the problem or dealing with the issue they come to me for. It has been there for a long time, whether physical, mental, emotional. We don't have the education in general in our communities that from the first time you have the problem, go find a solution. You ignore it, you let it be, and then when it becomes too much, then you go and try to get help. So when they come to me, they have already been in that state for so long. So we know that to reverse the problem they're having, we need at least few sessions. So I always start with 5 sessions in a row. Sometimes it's enough. 5 days are enough, 5 sessions are enough, and the person go on. They call me after 2-3 months, they have something else they want to feel again, that, openness. From time to time, they ask me on the phone, and usually I teach people what to do. Like every client, whoever comes to me, when they, either from the first day or when they finish, I give them, like we just did now, this exercise, I give them exercises to continue at home themselves, like few steps. So they keep helping themselves. The younger the clients are, the faster the results are, because they don't block themselves. They don't say, "Oh, is this gonna work or it's not gonna work?" Because we block ourselves. Like this is like how is this gonna work? Like by just putting her hands on me, I'm gonna heal. Like the left brain doesn't understand it, so people are skeptic about it. So they say like they kind of block themselves from moving forward from healing. At the beginning, later on they do heal, but at the beginning they have that skeptic feeling.
Okay. Were there cases where you had to encourage your client to visit a psychiatrist or go to a hospital?
Yes. If people are on medical, they have medical issues and they have their doctors and they're following. Yes, actually. Jinshin Jitsu is a complementary art. It's a complementary, it's an alternative therapy. It's not, we don't disregard what physicians say or what the person is being following.
What's your advice for some of us who still have the fear of stage, the fear of connecting with people during meetings, discussions? Some of us at work do have this type of maybe anxiety when we're sitting around in big meetings or conferences.
In Jinshin Jitsu, we consider the fingers are representing these attitudes, by holding the fingers, we clear those attitudes: worry, fear, anger, sadness, and efforting or trying too hard.
Oh,
So when
okay.
you're sitting at any meeting, whether it's a conference or a meeting with one person or 10 people, it's the same. You put your hand either under the table or on your lap or above the table. It doesn't matter. I could be sitting here now and putting my hand like this. No one will make any comment or will be bothered by this. I'll repeat it: worry. And then this is fast. So you remember it: FAST.
Oh,
Fear,
okay. Worry.
anger, sadness, and trying too much. So trying hard. So fast.
Okay. So as
Release,
long as
worry.
I recall what these fingers stand for, I would know which one to hold.
Yes. And if you don't recall, you can just hold the thumb. And the thumb is like as if you're holding each and every one, because the thumb, we call it in Jinshin Jitsu the leader. So it actually, because the thumb is connected to the nervous system. And when you calm down your nervous system, everything is calmer.
Okay.
So this is related to the nervous system. At the same time, these also related to the organs, like connected to the organs, to 12 organs. So each finger, when you hold it, you're balancing and harmonizing your organs. Let's say this is for stomach and spleen. This is for bladder and kidney. Again, we said this is fear. This is for gallbladder and liver. This is for lungs and large intestine. And this is small intestine and heart.
Oh.
So talking about heart, if God forbid someone is having heart attack or having heart issues or circulation issues, usually you just hold this this little finger for them. If you feel someone is having symptoms of heart attack, either you tell them to hold their fingers. If they're not able to do it, you hold it. And at the same time, you hold the big toes. It is to prevent heart attack and to prevent stroke.
One of my favorite books I've read recently. It's about attitudes and body language, and I found really a lot of very interesting statements. And one of them says the following: female intuition is particularly evident in women who have raised children. For the first few years, the mother relies almost solely on the non-verbal channel to communicate with the child. And this is why women are often more perceptive negotiators than men. They practice reading signals early. And it also states some research showed that women read a situation accurately 87% more of the time, and men scored only 40% accuracy. Do you believe this is true?
In a way, yes. Women have a strong intuition because women practice to use their intuition more than men. Every human have an intuition. You can make a business decision, a very strong business decision, and you say, what I see in front of me doesn't help me to make the decision, but I have a gut feeling I'm going to take the risk and do it. I'm sure you were in situations like this. So that gut feeling, that's your intuition. When you practice it a lot, then you are using it. And I can teach you a quick tip to activate your intuition again at any point, at any time. With Jinshin Jitsu, the intuition point is here. At the wrist, you have the bone of the wrist, and then there is like a dent below the bone. You just put your hands like this, your fingers or your hand, you just put your hand like this.
Okay.
No pressure, you just put it. You don't put any pressure, you just hold it like this. I look like I'm putting pressure, but I'm not putting pressure. You just hold it.
And what purpose would that give?
That will activate your intuition. So you could be sitting at a meeting and you just do this. I mean, we do it actually. Many people sit like this without thinking about it, whether on the left hand or right hand or left hand, it's the same. You're activating it. So many people sit like this. Because Jinshin Jitsu is that innate knowledge, innate wisdom, innate information that we are born with it. So we do things without really thinking about them. So some people sit like this, you know that they're activating their intuition, whether they know they're doing it or not, but they are doing that.
Well, thank you very much, Jocelyn. This session was very informative, at least for me. And I hope the audience would have found this very educational, and this is something that I think most of us haven't really heard of. Any last few words, especially to us in the business world today? Any thoughts, any recommendations?
Just be yourself and stop efforting. Life will be flowing and you will be in the flow. This is my quote. I love to say that when your energy is flowing, that means you are in the flow. And when you are in the flow, life comes to you. You don't have to go and grab things and do things and make efforts. Things will be really just happening on a positive note.
Agreed. Thank you very much.